Good day everyone! Welcome back to Math A YouTube channel. In this channel, we're going to discuss different topics in mathematics. Our lesson for today is addition and subtraction of dissimilar rational algebraic expressions. Dissimilar rational algebraic expressions are expressions with different denominators. Example, 5a over 2b and 2a over 3b. So the denominators are 2b and 3b. Let us review first addition and subtraction of dissimilar fractions. 3 over 7 plus 2 over 5. So that would be, first, we have to get the least common denominators. In order to get the least common denominators, we have to get the multiples of 7 and 5. And then get the common multiple. So we have here 35. So 35 is our LCD or least common denominator. So 35 divided by the first denominator, which is 7, is equal to 5. And then multiplied by 3, that would be equal to 15. Plus 35 divided by the second denominator, which is 5, that is equal to 7. And 7 times 2 is equal to 14. Since we have now here similar fractions, we can now add the numerators. 15 plus 14 is equal to 29 over the common denominator is 35. Since 29 over 35 doesn't have common factors, it is already in simplified form. Another, 5 over 9 minus 1 over 2. So that would be equal, the LCD is equal to 18. So 18 divided by 9 is 2, and 2 times 5 is equal to 10. Next, 18 divided by 2 is 9. 9 times 1 is equal to 9. So subtract the numerators. 10 minus 9 is equal to 1. Copy the denominator, which is 18. So these are the rules in addition and subtraction of dissimilar rational algebraic expressions. 1. Change into similar rational algebraic expression by finding the least common denominator. 2. If the denominators are already the same, add or subtract the numerator, then copy the denominator. And 3. Simplify if needed. Let us perform the indicated operation. 2x over 3y plus 5 over 2y. So, we can apply the rules in addition and subtraction of dissimilar fraction in addition and subtraction of dissimilar rational algebraic expressions. So first, we have to find the LCD or the least common denominator. Our LCD here is 6y. So how did we get 6y? Since the common multiple of 3 and 2 is 6, so we have to get 6 or write 6 and then get also the variable. So we have here 6y. Then divide the LCD by the first denominator, which is 3y. So the quotient is equal to 2. And then the quotient will be multiplied to the numerator, which is 2x. Next, copy the operation, which is addition. And then divide 6y by the second denominator, which is 2y. So the answer is 3. And 3 will be multiplied to the numerator of the second fraction, which is 5. And then, let us proceed. 2 times 2x, we have 4x, plus 3 times 5 is equal to 15, over, copy the LCD, which is 6y. Since the numerator and denominator doesn't have common factors, therefore this is already in simplified form. Another example, n over 4m minus 2 over 2n. That would be equal to, the LCD is 4mn. So we get 4 because the common multiple or the least common multiple of 4 and 2 is 4. And the variables existing in both denominators are m and n. So 4mn is our least common denominator. Next, divide 4mn by 4m. The quotient is equal to n. And then, multiply the quotient by the numerator, which is n. Next, copy the operation, which is subtraction. Again, divide 4mn by the second denominator, which is 2n. 4mn divided by 2n is equal to 2m. And then 2m will be multiplied to the numerator of the second fraction, which is 2. Okay? So let us answer. N times n is equal to n squared. And then the operation is subtraction. 2m times 2, we have 4m. Over, copy the LCD, which is 4mn. Since n squared minus 4m over 4mn doesn't have common factors, therefore, this is our final answer. Another example, 1 over a plus 2 minus 3 over a minus 1. So as you can see in our example, we have here binomial. So the denominators are both binomial. So how are we going to get the LCD? So we have to consider both denominators. So our LCD is a plus 2 times the quantity a minus 1. Next, divide the LCD by the first denominator. So the quotient is a minus 1. And then, multiplied a minus 1 by 1. So still the answer is a minus 1. Next, copy the operation, which is subtraction. And then, divide the denominator or the least common denominator by a minus 1. So we have here 3 came from the numerator of the second fraction times the quotient, which is a plus 2. Next, so let us simplify. A copied, and then minus 1. And then next, perform negative 3 times a. So we have to use the distributive property. Negative 3 times a is equal to negative 3a. And negative 3 times 2 is equal to negative 6. Over, copy the LCD, which is a plus 2 times the quantity a minus 1. So next, we have to combine similar terms in our numerator. So a and negative 3a, that would be equal to negative 2a. So a minus 3a is equal to negative 2a. And then next, negative 1 minus 6 is equal to negative 7. Over, copy again the LCD, which is a plus 2 times the quantity a minus 1. So as you can see, the numerator and denominator doesn't have common factors. So therefore, this is our final answer. For our last example, we have 6 over a squared minus 4 plus 2 over a squared minus 5a plus 6. So in order to get the least common denominator, we have to factor out first the denominators of each rational expressions. So in the first rational expression, our denominator is a squared minus 4. And these are both perfect squares. So we're going to factor this out using factoring the difference of two squares. So that would be equal to 6 over the quantity a plus 2 times the quantity a minus 2. And then copy the operation, which is addition. And then the second denominator of our rational expression is a squared minus 5a plus 6. So this is a quadratic trinomial. Therefore, we're going to use factoring quadratic trinomial of the form x squared plus bx plus c. And the factor of this denominator is a minus 3 times the quantity a minus 2. So we copied out the numerator and then over the factors of the denominator. Next, we can now get the LCD. And the LCD is a plus 2 times the quantity a minus 2 times the quantity a minus 3. So we get the factors of these two denominators. So we considered both factors. And then, after getting the LCD, divide the LCD by the first denominator. So we have here 6, the numerator, and then the quotient is a minus 3. And then plus, so the numerator is 2, and then we divide LCD by a minus 3 times the quantity a minus 2. So the quotient is a plus 2. Next, let's proceed with distributive property. So 6 times a is equal to 6a. And then the operation is subtraction. And 6 times 3 is 18. Next, 2 times a is equal to positive 2a. And then 2 times 2 is equal to positive 4. Over, copy the LCD, which is the quantity a plus 2 times the quantity a minus 2 times the quantity a minus 3. Next, let us combine similar terms in the numerator. So 6a plus 2a is equal to 8a. And then negative 18 plus 4, we have here negative 14 over the LCD a plus 2 times a minus 2 times the quantity a minus 3. And then, let us get the factor of the numerator. So let us factor this out using greatest common monomial factor. And the greatest common monomial factor is 2. So 8a divided by 2 is equal to 4a. And then 14 divided by 2 is equal to 7. Over the least common denominator, which is a plus 2 times the quantity a minus 2 times the quantity a minus 3. Since the numerator and denominator doesn't have common factors, therefore, it is our final answer. And that ends our lesson for today. Thank you for watching. I'm Teacher Grace. See you again next time. Please like and subscribe. Bye!